Welcome to the Adelphi New York statewide breast cancer hotline and support program STEP video series. I'm Joanna Formont, and today I'll be discussing how families can support children in coping with a breast cancer diagnosis, fostering open communication, resilience, and emotional well-being. I'm the executive director of a program called SIBSPlace, an affiliate of Mount Sinai South Nassau. We are a free prevention and peer-based support program serving children ages 5 to 17 who have a sibling with a cancer or another devastating medical illness or a parent with a cancer diagnosis. We're based in a resilience model utilizing peer support and multidimensional expressive arts activities facilitated by mental health professionals. Our services include anticipatory grief, bereavement groups, parent and caregiver support groups, summer camp SIBS, and we've been providing these services since 2000. With the American Cancer Society projecting that in 2026, over 382,000 total new cases of breast cancer will be diagnosed, and approximately 30% of breast cancer patients will have at least one minor child, we will anticipate that 1 in every 3 breast cancer patients are caring for a minor child or children while also caring for themselves. When a child learns about a parent's cancer diagnosis, in an instant, all of the routines in a child's life are disrupted. School, home, social life. With little warning and few exceptions, life has been turned upside down. This is what happens in the life of a child when one member of their family is diagnosed with cancer or another devastating medical illness. The impact of a parent's cancer diagnosis on children includes loss of life as the child knew it changing. Sense of safety, consistency, and stability are impacted. New and sometimes changing caregivers are present. Changes in routines and socialization opportunities, such as activities and play dates, might change. And there's a sadness and anxiety that might fill the house. There's also changes in parent-child relationships due to separations, absences from the home because of hospitalizations or treatments, or because the parent is immunocompromised and children may have to physically distance from them. There's a loss of parental attention. Parents may not have the time, energy, or strength to engage in the same way with their children. Due to balancing their physical and emotional needs, parents may also appear to be irritable or upset, and children choose to stay away. There's also a loss of power and control. Unexpected and unpredictable nature of cancer impacts a child's ability to trust and manage sense of self and the world around them. There's also observed changes in relationships with the other parent. Children may be aware of possible tension and anxiety or disagreements about treatment plans or even possible financial stress. New caretaking responsibilities may also impact the mood and availability of the other parent. There's an impact on communication. Parents are often unsure on how to discuss a diagnosis with their children, so they may not bring it up. Children do not want to overburden parents about their questions and feelings, so they do not share their concerns. This results in limited communication about the illness. There's also an increased sense of vulnerability. Children may worry about others in the family getting sick. They worry that they can catch cancer too, and they worry about who will take care of them and the possible death of their parent. The psychosocial impacts on children include coping with instability. The questions they ask: who can I depend on? Who can I talk to? Can I trust that my caregivers are telling me the truth? They're also managing confusing and complex emotions. Children are coping with overwhelming feelings that are sometimes even difficult for adults to navigate. Children express fear of losing parental attention, the time spent with their parents, and they worry that a parent might die. There are changes in responsibilities and expectations. Children may be asked to take on more household responsibilities, caretaking for siblings, or adjust to the diagnosed parent not being able to do the things the same way as they did before the diagnoses. Children may also be asked to take on a parentified role with more adult responsibilities. There's also a sense of isolation. Children may feel different from their peers. Sometimes the physical separations from their parent lead them to feel isolated. There's also a sense of abandonment, even when a parent is physically present in the home due to the parent's need to rest or take care of their physical needs. A change in identity. Children are trying to figure out their place in their home and in relationship to others and their peers. and financial stress, especially if an ill parent is no longer able to work or a caregiver's work schedule is impacted and there's an awareness of increased medical bills. Recommendations on how to support children. 1 is open and honest age-appropriate communication. Also addressing emotional well-being of children and parents, relying on coping skills and developing new ones, and creating social support networks. Communication. Finding a comfortable, safe space with limited distractions such as televisions and devices will help to engage your children in conversations about a cancer diagnosis. If guidance is needed, see if your doctor or hospital has child life or social work departments that can offer assistance or a referral for community support programs such as SIBSPlace that can offer support. How to talk to your children about your diagnosis. Be honest, providing information in simple and age-appropriate wording. Not sharing the real information can lead children to mistrust and experience a greater sense of anxiety. Be mindful of how you share information. It's okay to say the word cancer. Share the next step plans, including how they will be cared for and the possible changes in the home. And avoid using metaphors. They create further confusion. Be prepared for any type of reaction and even a non-reaction. Answer questions the best that you can. If you don't have an answer in the moment, it's okay to tell your child that you would like to think about it or ask a doctor first before answering. Reassure children that cancer is not contagious. Encourage your children and yourself to avoid seeking out information online. Get medical information from your doctors, not the internet. Don't make promises, especially about the future. Be honest about taking care of yourself and getting medical treatment from a trusted team of doctors. Prepare your child so he or she feels empowered to answer questions, explain the illness to others, and allow them to think about who they want to share the information with. As a parent, it's okay to share your feelings and even cry. By doing this, you are modeling how to express emotions and letting your child know that it's okay to express their feelings too. Avoid overly technical terms and minimize unnecessary details. Share the type of treatment: surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. Share when and how a parent is expected to go for treatment. What is the impact on the child and their daily routines? And the possible side effects by saying you won't be able to hug mommy right after her procedure, or mommy may lose her hair, but that's a side effect of the medication. Based on age, you may say the word medication or treatment versus chemotherapy and radiation. You're going to review household changes and who will be available for support, and discuss the medical equipment. Share the equipment that might be in the home, and if a port is needed, what it is, the location, and the purpose. Contact child life and social work departments for support. Explore ways to stay connected during hospital stays using FaceTime or letters and pictures or sharing a notebook that goes back and forth. Try to be as honest about timing and changes in hospital length of stay. Before a child visits the hospital, discuss the medical equipment that will be in the hospital room. Prepare them using the 5 senses: possible smells, things they may hear, things they may see. Other considerations. Be mindful to not allow children to assume or be asked to take on a parentified role, especially involving medical care. Try not to over-involve children with inappropriate medical or financial information. Children hear everything, even whispers. Be mindful of the information discussed when you think your children are not listening. Continue to share how you are available for questions and discussions. Find support for yourself and family members. This may mean seeking out individual or group counseling services. Alert the school about diagnosis and continue to keep them informed. Create a plan for the social worker or psychologist to meet with your child on a schedule your child is comfortable with. Creating an emergency plan together, so children are comfortable calling 911 and contacting family members or neighbors in the event of an emergency. Addressing everyone's emotional well-being. Common thoughts and feelings children may have are anger, isolation, anxiety, sadness, jealousy, confusion, guilt, embarrassment, worry, and fear. Children of varying developmental stages understand and react to illness differently. Children ages 0 to 6 are going to sense the adult's mood in the home. You might see regressive and acting out behaviors, crying, neediness, clinginess, and sleep disturbances. Children ages 7 to 11, you might have an impact on schoolwork or changes in their friendships, acting out behaviors. Maybe they're isolating or withdrawing. Sleep disturbances, and some studies indicate that boys have a harder time with a parent's physical change during this age group. Children ages 12 to 18 can feel angry and demonstrate risk-taking behaviors. They seek out peer support instead of family support, and there are concerns about expectations of added responsibilities. They also understand the concept of time and the finality of death, and they worry about this more than the younger children will. Some studies indicate that girls experience more emotional distress and concern for their health and potential of being diagnosed with breast cancer during this age range. Overall, possible reactions you might see in children are acting out behaviors such as fighting with siblings, peers, and adults, attention-seeking behaviors, crying, clinginess, getting into trouble, regress behaviors, bedwetting, baby talk, and separation anxiety, sleep disturbances like nightmares or not being able to sleep or sleeping too much or wanting to sleep with a parent, changes in school performance, difficulty concentrating, changes in friendships, interests, or activities, isolation from peers and other family members, and avoidance, refusing to talk about the diagnosis or their feelings. Withholding information may also happen to protect a parent's feelings. They might keep the feelings, questions, school concerns all to themselves. Feelings of depression or anxiety that may need support from a mental health professional. How to provide support. Help children identify, validate, and normalize feelings and experiences. Reinforce consistency to create a sense of safety. Acknowledge child's feelings and sense that they may feel like they are different from their peers. Encourage expression of feelings. Create opportunities for children to ask questions, correct misperceptions, reduce anxiety, and discuss long-term impact of illness. Develop emotional vocabulary. Give permission to have concurrent and maybe conflicting feelings, and help them to increase empathy. Address questions and provide psychoeducation. Discuss concerns about cancer being contagious or something that a parent could have caught from a child. Discuss genetic counseling when appropriate. Helping to develop coping skills is important as well. They help to regain a sense of mastery and control, and it helps them to recognize a path to empowerment. Plan activities with children that they may enjoy and that will make them feel special. Strengthen family relationships. Maintain family cohesion and a sense of connection. Make sure you embrace opportunities to have fun and make memories and create healthy distractions. Acknowledge hypervigilance and anxiety connected to testing, doctor visits, upcoming scans, and possibly about reoccurrence. Sometimes it's after treatment ends that reactions may occur. Let's talk about coping skills. What are the parents' needs? To be gentle with your feelings and thought processes. Avoid self-judgment. Avoid saying, "I should." Find supportive people you can trust, share your feelings with, and allow yourself to accept support. And give yourself time to process your many emotions. Know that overwhelming feelings you have now will lessen as you form routines and adjust to change. Avoid unrealistic expectations or goals for yourself and those that others put on you. Learn how to say no. And be aware of your body's need for good nutrition, fluids, and rest and relaxation. Release tension, anger, sadness, and frustration by crying when you need to, listening to music, writing in a journal, taking a walk, drawing, and scrapbooking. Forgive yourself and others. Decrease exposure to people in your life who do not provide the support you need. Prepare for changes both physical and emotional. Join a group and make new friends who can empathize and provide support. How to support children in the family. Maintain as regular of a schedule as you can for your children. Be thoughtful when you answer children's questions. Take your time and think about your responses. If you don't know the answer to a question, tell your children that you don't have an answer right now, but that you'll think about it and you'll ask your doctor and get back to them. Remind children that there is a plan for them and that they will be safe if, for instance, you are unable to pick them up at school or be home for dinner. Leave telephone numbers in a place where children can easily access them so they feel empowered. Let your child's teacher or social worker at school know what is happening in your family. Having an adult in school who is aware and sensitive to the changes in the lives of your child will help your child feel understood and cared about. Let your child know who they can go to at school if they need support. If a child feels anxious, explore who they can turn to for support and ask questions. Discuss with them coping strategies they can use in moments of distress. One of the ways a child can gain strength is through post-traumatic growth, the positive psychological change that some individuals experience after a life-changing crisis or traumatic events. Post-traumatic growth doesn't deny the deep distress, but rather suggests that adversity can unintentionally yield changes in understanding about oneself, others, and the world. How can post-traumatic growth foster resilience? First is through improved relationships. The crisis of a parental cancer diagnosis deepens the bonds within the family and friends. Children may report feeling closer to their parents, siblings, and other supportive figures. Open and honest communication and empathizing with your children will promote resilience. New possibilities. The belief that goals can be met even when faced with adversity has been linked to higher levels of post-traumatic growth and increased hope. The experience can lead to a reevaluation of life priorities and the discovery of new life paths or goals. Greater appreciation for life. Children and young adults may develop a deeper appreciation for life and the fragility, leading to a greater sense of gratitude for everyday moments. Increased sense of personal strength. Successfully navigating the difficulties associated with a parent's illness can foster a sense of personal strength and resilience. Spiritual or existential change. Some individuals may experience a shift in their spiritual beliefs or a deeper exploration of life's meaning and purpose. Here are some challenges when accessing social support. Patients often do not bring their children up during medical appointments because they do not recognize the need for support or they're not sure how to ask for assistance for their children. Healthcare providers often do not bring up children because they are uncomfortable and unsure of how to address questions and concerns about the children. Families and healthcare workers report they are unaware of support services for children. So all of these factors limit the access to care. How to help increase social support for children and families. It is recommended that healthcare providers routinely check in with patients about how their children are coping. Increased awareness within hospitals and doctors' offices about support services available to families, including child life and social work services, would help facilitate referrals. Patients should seek out support from friends and community members to assist with basic needs: grocery store runs, dinner gift cards, rides for children to sporting events or school activities. It's okay to ask for help and to say yes to help. Increased awareness about community-based support services would improve the patient and children's access to individual and group support services available for families. One resource would be SIBSPlace. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the STEP program video. For more information, visit us online.